Oh man, sitting in the car, Walmart parking lot. It's like 2:40 in the morning. I had to get a quick cup of coffee from Wild. It'd be hard for me to sleep, man, especially at night. Anyway, I was watching, excuse me, watching a couple movies with moms. I watched the new, I guess it ain't new, it's probably old, Beverly Hills Cop with Axel Foley and that John. He said something deep. He said he was at like I guess he was having I guess like him and his daughter hadn't been talking for a while, and she was like, "Hey, yo, dad, you know what I'm saying? The parent's always the parent, and the child's always the child is always the child. So it's up to the parent to make amends or to make things right with their child." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's deep." Cause family said, it was both our fault. Like, you know what I mean? You ain't try to holler at me. After a while, I stopped trying to holler at you. And I can understand that, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you keep uh, giving effort and your effort is not received, after a while it'll weigh you down and you just figure, well, they don't want to talk to me. They'll come around whenever they come around. But then I can feel her too. Like, I'm the child in the joint, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the child in the situation. You supposed to keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. And I remember I did that. I do that now. But I do that with all friends and family, you know what I mean? Like, I just try to keep the relationship alive. I'll probably always show more love than I actually get in return, but that's probably because I ain't probably the most lovable of persons. Like, I don't really be doing nothing negative. I just don't be knowing how to receive love from people like that. You know what I mean? That's probably a personal fault. But that's not the point I was making. The point I was making was, and I'm telling my mom, like, yeah, I feel where she was coming from. But, she 32 years old in here. So at some point, let's say if the situation happened where they split up and she was 12 and Pop been trying up until you like 24. At some point, you adult enough to call your dad or call your mom, whatever the situation may be, and say, you know what, I'm gonna put bygones, aside, or put our differences aside and let bygones be bygones, and try to, formulate that relationship. Relationships take two people. Now, when one of the people is a child, you could force a child to sit there and listen to what you're saying, or make them sit with you until they actually open up, if they're willing to open up. But once a person becoming an adult, they got to make that decision on themselves. It's sort of like, I know I can't speak for women because I'm a man, but I know, like, as a man, I could like a woman and I could try to take her out on dates, and I could try to do nice things for her and wine and dine her, and, communicate the best of my abilities, and, be there for her. But if she's not interested or not showing me no interest back, after a while, I'm going to fall back and I'm going to just leave it alone, because I feel like my attempts and my efforts is unwanted. And if something feels unwanted, then eventually it starts to feel unwarranted. Like, oh, if you don't want me to call you, then now I'm being annoying by calling you. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought, it made me think that. I was like, wow. Because I know some people that's going through situations with their kids or with a loved one or a family member or a friend. And, they've been trying to make amends or trying to communicate and trying to reestablish a relationship or just start a whole new relationship with them. You know what I mean? Share their side of the situation or quote unquote story. And they haven't been received from the other person. The other person is basically blocking them or ignoring them or just still in the situation, still feeling a certain way about the situation, the circumstances where they're upset, and they might not want to speak, or they just might not be ready to receive that, or they may have just moved on. You know what I mean? It make you wonder, like, how many attempts does a person make before they wash their hands of the situation, or how many times do you try at something before you accept it? You know, maybe this ain't for me, or maybe this person just don't want to deal with me or talk to me. One thing I know about words, man, too many words. The more words you give a person, the more uh, they're gonna judge what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like if somebody keep apologizing, after a certain amount of apologies, it don't feel authentic no more. Or if somebody keeps saying thank you, thank you, thank you, it get you feel overthanked to where now the thank you is not genuine. I don't know. That's just that's just something that struck a chord. I was like, wow, you know what I mean? That makes sense. I kind of get where they was going with that. I felt his side, I felt her side, and they wound up making up, and being back on board with each other at the end. That was cool to see. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's just a question. Like, how many if people that may be going through something similar to that, like, how many times do you? Because a person needs you to return the effort. You know what I'm saying? Effort can't just be one sided, especially not in relationships. Because then the other person feels unwanted. And trying to make you feel wanted, they wind up feeling unwanted. It's a weird thing. But anyway, let me know how y'all feel about that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I didn't think it was a great movie. I didn't think it was a bad movie. It was just a movie. You know what I'm saying? But I'll holler at y'all later. Boom.